Nutrition and the Secret Key to Longevity. What we eat can have profound effects on our physical bodies structurally and functionally. The right foods send a signal to our genes to produce proteins that may prevent heart disease, Alzheimer's disease, arthritis, and inflammation, or we can choose to eat the wrong foods, those that are high in white refined flour and sugar, sending a signal to our genes to produce proteins that may induce the development of arthritis, back pain, shoulder pain, heart disease, and memory loss. The China study, which was conducted by T. Colin Campbell, analyzed 50 diseases in rural China and compared the food in China with the food in the United States to attempt to explain the diseases. Fat intake was twice as high in the United States as it was in China. The intake of fiber, which is found in fruits and vegetables, was 3 times lower in the United States. The consumption of animal protein, such as beef, pork, and lamb, was 90% higher in the United States. Heart disease death rates were 16 times greater in the United States for men and 5 times greater for women in comparison to rural China. In the United States, cancer, osteoporosis, diabetes, and high blood pressure were more prevalent than in rural China. Campbell's study shows that food is linked to positive and negative health outcomes. Cardiologists know that some foods can impact the ability of blood vessels to transport blood into organs and tissues. The fat in a high-fat meal gets broken down into large particles that float around the bloodstream and can block blood vessels when they accumulate on their inner surfaces. If you lower the amount of fat in someone's diet, you improve the blood flow to his or her heart muscle. On the other hand, if you take someone with good blood flow and place him or her on a diet involving large quantities of saturated fats, a diet of beef, pork, and lamb, for example, the blood flow to the heart muscle will be diminished after some time. Research repeatedly links red meat, processed meat, and cured meat to colon cancer. In a study that was conducted by the National Institutes of Health, NIH, in 2010, over 3,000 Americans between the ages of 50 and 71 were analyzed. The NIH identified about 2,700 cases of colon cancer and concluded that red meat and processed meat are positively associated with colorectal cancer. Research that was conducted in 2010 shows that women who eat meat, particularly red and cured meat, prior to their diagnosis of ovarian cancer have a disadvantage in their clinical outcome. There are also links between obesity and cancer. There are about 100,000 deaths in the United States per year from cancer that are related to being overweight, and that is related to having too much sugar and simple carbohydrates in the diet. The good news is that there is also a lot of research on the positive influence of food that tells us what we should be eating, how we should be eating, and how much we should be eating. The Archives of Internal Medicine has shown that whole fruits and vegetables, particularly green leafy vegetables, protect against heart disease and stroke. Green leafy vegetables are high in calcium and magnesium and are low in sugar. Research has shown that we can improve blood flow to the heart muscle with just lifestyle changes, such as diet, exercise, and support groups. The Mediterranean diet has got a lot of press over time because there are regions in the world where people do not have heart attacks. Epidemiologists conclude that the lack of heart attacks is related to the Mediterranean diet. Studies have shown that older people, 70 to 90 years of age, who follow a Mediterranean diet and simply walk about 1 mile per day enjoy a 50% lower rate of cardiac events and mortality. The Mediterranean diet is associated with a reduction in cancer and cardiovascular events and an improvement in mortality from eating beans, lentils, legumes, whole foods, fruits, and fish. The carbohydrates that are consumed in the Mediterranean diet are whole grains, including whole wheat bread and brown rice. There are 2 kinds of fats that are important. Polyunsaturated fats include omega-6 and omega-3, and monounsaturated fats include olive oil and nuts. In the Mediterranean diet, people are told to stay away from saturated fats, such as beef, pork, lamb, lard, cream, and butter. They are told to use olive oil, which is monounsaturated, and they are told to eat a lot of omega-3s, which are polyunsaturated. When you eat omega-3s, particularly in the form of fish, you are going to send a signal to your genes that is going to produce proteins that prevent blood from clotting and block inflammation, which is linked to heart disease, Alzheimer's disease, and arthritis. This is one of the key ingredients of the Mediterranean diet's success.